Has anyone ever put their family in danger because they didn't listen to you? I refused to install countertops on a collapsing floor, and the homeowner called me a dirty thief. I've been doing construction work for 20 years now, and this guy, Dennis, hired me to put granite countertops in his kitchen. When I went over to measure everything, I figured I should check the basement since granite is incredibly heavy. Behind his TV stand, the wall was bubbling out like a water balloon, and when I barely touched it, water started seeping through the paint. I cut a small hole to look inside, and the main beam holding up his kitchen was black with rot and felt like wet cardboard. The floor above had already sagged down about 1.5 inches, which explained why Dennis mentioned his cabinets never closed right. His neighbor's pipe burst 6 months ago, flooding both units, and those repair guys must have just sealed everything up while still soaking wet. I ran upstairs with my phone already pulled up to the pictures and showed Dennis what I found, but watched his face go from confused to pissed in about 2 seconds flat. "You cut a hole in my wall," he said, while crossing his arms like I was some kid in trouble, instead of the guy trying to save his family. I explained how the beam was totally shot, and adding all that granite weight would make it fail even faster, but he just kept shaking his head and insisting the inspector said everything was fine 2 months ago. I tried telling him inspectors only see what's visible, and the finished walls hid all the damage, but I could tell by his eyes he'd already decided I was just another crooked contractor trying to rip him off. He started ranting about how we always make up problems to charge more money, and his wife Lauren walked in right as he was showing her my pictures like they were evidence of some crime I'd committed. He actually told her I was wrecking their house to get out of installing countertops, which made my blood boil because I was trying to save them from disaster. I pulled up comparison photos of healthy beams versus theirs, and offered to write everything up for their insurance company, and even said I'd put in writing that I wouldn't do the repairs myself, but Dennis's face just kept getting redder. "Give me my deposit back or put in those countertops tomorrow," he demanded, even though the deposit already covered all my measuring and prep work. When I explained this, he completely lost it and called me a thief while pulling out his phone to write a bad review right there in front of me. I actually wrote up a liability waiver saying I'd warned them about the structural damage, but Dennis grabbed it and ripped it into pieces before telling me to get the hell out of his house. I kept the deposit like my contract said I could, and that same night, I mailed Dennis a certified letter with all the pictures and documentation, then called the city and my insurance company to cover myself legally. I even sent copies to their insurance company, warning them about the imminent danger. 3 weeks went by when Lauren called me crying so hard she could barely get the words out between sobs. "The kitchen fell through the floor," she kept repeating. They'd been watching TV in the basement after dinner when this massive cracking sound exploded above them, and they jumped up just as the entire kitchen floor split down the middle and came crashing through right where their couch was. The investigation found exactly what I'd been trying to warn them about, with the water from the neighbor's broken pipe having rotted through the main beam and 2 other supports. The neighbor's insurance had to cover everything since their contractors never dried things properly. The city inspector said it should have been condemned weeks ago, and the whole mess cost over $100,000, taking 6 months to fix while they lived in a hotel. 2 weeks after the collapse, Dennis finally called me with a voice so quiet and broken I barely recognized him. "You tried to help us, and I called you a thief," he said, choking up. He deleted all the bad reviews and wrote new ones, explaining how I'd tried to save his family from disaster. Now, Dennis sends me customers constantly telling everyone I'm the only honest contractor he knows.